This is the sprint video for Sprint 1 for Team Guide. This sprint we began using user testing specifically with the knowledge organization learning science concepts we looked at earlier. We presented both experts and novices with the same web page and asked them to draw a concept map of how they believe that different concepts work together to make this page work. And we gained a lot of valuable information out of this. Specifically, we wanted to compare these and hopefully highlight some misconceptions that learners have, as well as just some knowledge that they may have not understood or just were missing. The way we did this was we were looking at these maps and analyzing the concepts that appeared, as well as the connections between concepts. For example, this is a spreadsheet that we made that highlights which concepts were appearing in novice and expert maps. And looking at things like this, we can find patterns. For example, here there's a pattern that novices don't understand the connection between the front end and back end of the web page, whereas experts have a better understanding of that. And this is reflected in their use of words, many of which are expert jargon, a topic that we looked at last quarter as a learning barrier for beginners in web development. Following that, we started to look at prototypes that we could start building. Because the quarter is pretty short, we wanted to get a head start on this, even if we weren't exactly sure how we wanted to apply the solution. At the very least, at this point, we understand that the research question we want to address is how can we apply learning science concepts to improve teaching web development. And the learning science concept we've really started to focus in on is knowledge organizations and looking at how experts organize their knowledge versus beginners. And so we began drawing some storyboards and paper prototypes. We haven't really decided on a direction for that. And lastly, we also brainstormed some different research directions. We think that it would be helpful if next sprint we could try to apply the learning barrier, or not apply, but see if the learning barriers from the paper we read last quarter can be found in the differences between these maps. And also we wanted to do more analysis like this spreadsheet, where we just try to highlight as many differences as we can between the expert and novice maps.